So we have hit level 50 today. It took us a few days to do it, but we're here. And I am ready to give my honest review. Actually, let me rephrase that. I'm ready to give my honest first impressions. And it took us about 70 hours or so to hit this mark. I'm constantly asked every single minute I'm streaming, what do I think about the game? So the short answer is that I am very much enjoying myself playing this game, and I'm addicted. I'm addicted to this damn game, and I'm going to pretty much tell you why in this video. I want you to know that I am extremely tired, and I'm going to try my best to stay on point. And I just don't think I'm going to be able to articulate my words very well because I'm doing a subathon, and I've been doing consecutive 24 to 35 hour streams, like actual gameplay streams. I've slept about 5 hours in the last 3 days. I've been going super hardcore. And yes, some of that is just me and my nature of going hard on MMO launches and really trying to learn the game so I can put out good information. But also, honestly, because I'm enjoying the game. Right out the gate, I think what you guys need to understand about Throne and Liberty is that it is designed to be a more classic MMORPG. And it's just, that's the way it is. So if you're looking for a game that's more like modern day, let's just say retail WoW, this is not it. If you're looking for like a classic WoW, Lineage, Ion, even vanilla Arcage. I mean, Arcage is kind of a different thing. It's more the combat that's similar with Arcage, but if you're looking for more of that style, this is going to be a great game for you because that is what it's like. Typically with these older classic MMOs, you have mobs that that are just not easy to kill, right? They're tankier, they hit harder, tab targeting, and you got to kind of pull a mob here. You can't like overgroup, can't do brain dead things, even to trash mobs. That's pretty much what this game is. And I was pretty drawn to that, especially with the polish, which I'll get into in a second. The other thing is that this game is a very guild-oriented game. I said this in my previous video covering what this game is about. It is very much so. Guild rewards, significant drops, events, which is a large part of your daily loop and progression towards the end game. A lot of it is tied to guild progression. You are going to progress faster as a guild. Everything is just going to be better as a guild. In the beginning, you kind of do your own thing, but as you get up, the zones become more and more difficult, and it's just going to be more advantageous to group up in a party. Now, there is one little issue that I have in regards to this particular thing. I typically enjoy group content and being encouraged and incentivized to party in a group, although I know that's more of an opinion. Some people don't like that. But one of the areas that I feel like Throne and Liberty was lacking in regards to this was that you're actually penalized in some of the things that you do in the early game for grouping up with people. Here's an example. There's an open world event, and your mission is to collect as many items as possible. The problem is loot is not shared with amongst party members in Throne and Liberty. So if I'm partying with you, we can't actually do the event together. We need to separate, because if we farm together, we're essentially being a detriment to each other. But yeah, it's not good. You're impeding on each other essentially. So that was something that I feel like was kind of I didn't know how I felt about that. No, actually I did. I didn't like it. But then later on, that type of content became a little bit less prevalent, I guess, and more the content that does encourage you, and the content where it is beneficial to group up, that type of content starts showing up more and more. Leveling experience is the next thing that I wanted to tell you guys about. You essentially do your main story questline, which gives you the most amount of experience, and the process is, well, you do your main story questline, you're going to eventually reach a little bit of a bottleneck for a couple of levels. Then you got to figure out a way to get those couple of levels. And in Throne and Liberty, it's like most classic MMOs, they don't give you a very streamlined, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. They do to a certain degree, because it's not completely old school classic MMO. They do give you some direction, which isn't too bad. You're essentially doing exploration quests, and exploration quests are this right here. It's in your codex, your adventure log. This is your main story quest line. This is your exploration quest. You're going to do these until you cover that. Well, this along with events, as well as maybe like a solo dungeon. This is pretty much what you're going to do during the bottlenecks. And the bottlenecks happened for me around like the mid to early 20s, if I remember correctly. And the most notable one happened between 43 and 45. So what happens is that your main story quest line will tell you can continue the main story quest line once you hit level 45. And there are also zones that start opening up at level 45 for exploration as well. So there's a lot of people that have been saying that the pacing is really slow and the bottlenecks are bad. And I think that is a problem that's a little bit, it could certainly get better, especially the level 45 bottleneck. But I think it's a problem that's a little bit more specific to KR launch. The reason why I say that is because not a lot of people know how to go about being a little bit more efficient. So the fact that everyone is being inefficient with their progress, I feel like just the general opinion of the progress to endgame might feel like it's a little bit grindy. I'm not sure if I worded that correctly. I apologize, but I do know a lot of people are saying that like this bottleneck is bad, it's too grindy, and I really don't think it is, especially if you have the knowledge. And here's an example, like some people don't even know that you can just simply go to an undiscovered zone, check out the waypoint, and that's going to open up new quests in the exploration tab. Okay, for example, this area right here, I have not explored it, and this is what I do to get it. Most people, when they reach the bottleneck, they go back and do these quests from the beginning, and some of these quests not only net you lower experience, but some of these are subject to like weather conditions, subject to like day-night conditions, subject to server milestones that are required for you to complete, and people just don't know. Number one, a lot of people don't know what these systems are to begin with. And number two, a lot of people just don't know which ones to do, which ones to prioritize. So there's a lot of time that's wasted trying to figure things out. And honestly, that's where I lost a lot of my time. I ended up finishing and getting to level 70, level 50, around 70 hours. And I can tell you, a lot of that time was spent trying to figure out where I needed to go, because right now with us playing it, we don't have any guides. A quest tells us you need to find this pebble in this area. We don't know where that is. We don't even know what this pebble is, and we need to look it up. So for those of you in the West, a lot of these quests and things there'll be guides out there. They're gonna be leveling guides to tell you what to do. So that experience is gonna be sped up significantly. The other thing that people don't understand is that the bottleneck hits you harder the more hardcore you get, plus the less your experience, because of server milestones. You're going to see right here, this is the server milestone right here. Content will get unlocked as people in your server progresses. So you get more world bosses, you get more events, all these types of things. So when it comes to the leveling, there's a reason why people that really knew what they're doing, even though it was a fresh game, there were people that were more efficient, that chose the right quests to do, that were progging in a group, that were able to hit level 50 in just like 3 days. Events are a big part of the leveling experience, and that is this right here. I'm not sure if you can actually see it from that POV, but this is it right here. And you're gonna see a lot of these events start to pop up more and more. In the beginning, of course, you're going to be doing the same events because your server hasn't unlocked them. The more casual you play and the later you start, you might not even fall into those bottlenecks, simply because you're going to have access to more content when you start your leveling experience. The actual process of leveling up is it's not linear. Okay, so TLDR, you do your main story quest line, gives you the most amount of experience, and then you reach a little bit of a bottleneck, and then you go and do your exploration quests. Those exploration quests will not be streamlined. You got to figure out which ones you want to do that will give you the most experience, assuming leveling is your priority. In addition to this, you're going to be doing events that are changing almost every hour, depending on how fast your server is progressing, maybe 2 hours. You're gonna have world bosses, you're gonna have event turn-ins, like GVG type of stuff that happen, and you're gonna find yourself doing this and then jumping to this on the hour, then jumping to this, and then jumping to this on the hour. Especially if you're in a group, you're gonna always catch yourself kind of being in your party or in your voice comms and being like, hey, what have you done here? Hey, what have you done here? Hey, do you want to do this together? Do you want to do this together? Rather than, hey, what quest are you on? Right? It's not going to be that type of experience. So if you're someone that is looking for a little bit more of a dynamic experience when it comes to the actual leveling, then you might enjoy this, because you can ask my viewers when they're watching me play this game, I was doing something different every single hour, whether it was a solo dungeon, group dungeon, GVG, world boss, all these things. And this game incentivizes you to do those things. The content in this game is designed in a way where showing up to a node war, showing up to a guild versus guild, showing up to a world boss, showing up to an open world PvP world boss event where guilds are competing against each other, showing up to any of these events, they are actually a huge part of your progression. You want to do it. So here, an example of this would be in BDO. If you do a node war, you're not making gains doing the node war. You're doing it because it's fun. In fact, it's a net minus. You're going to probably lose money. In this game, you show up to a GVG, you and your guild both benefit by showing up and participating in those events. For me personally, I really like the fact that that type of dynamic progression and dynamic content on a day-to-day basis was there. It kept things fresh. It wasn't as monotonous by doing so. However, I will say that I am a little bit concerned because in regards to the end game, because there's so many different things to do, so many events on the hour, maybe it starts feeling like you can't do anything and you have to hit every single event on the hour. I got to finish my contracts. I got to hit these events. I got to do the world boss. Maybe it starts feeling like that. I can tell you for a fact that hardcore guilds, it will feel like that. But hardcore guilds generally have people that prefer content like that. So take that as you will. Content is constantly changing. It's not like one or two things that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. Combat is the next thing that a lot of people have been asking me about. Combat in this game is similar to other classic MMOs. Okay, I draw this comparison quite a bit. This game to me really feels like it draws from Ion, World of Warcraft, a little bit of ArcAge, combat specifically with ArcAge. The combat is the same way. So think WoW and WoW Classic Warrior, right? Everyone tells you it's very rewarding, scales very well end game, terrible in the beginning, super slow. Well, when it comes to the combat in Throne and Liberty, you feel that a little bit. You really do feel that a little bit, because in the beginning, you don't get all your skills like you do in some other games. You unlock them slowly all the way from 1 to level 50, and these cooldowns are a little bit higher. If you have 4 skills through the first 20 levels, 4 or 5 skills, I can't remember exactly, and these skills have higher cooldowns, you're going to be relying on your auto attack quite a bit. This game is designed around more classic principles, which is like mana consumption. Mana consumption is a thing. So if you didn't know the importance of mana regen in this game, then you probably had an even worse time. You had skills on cooldown, relying on your auto attack. And now when you are using your skills or have a few skills to use, you run out of mana and you're still auto attacking. It can feel very slow, clunky, and frustrating. That all goes away as you build out your character though. At least it did from 1 to 50, as it does, by the way, in every single game. You got to build for mana regen in the early game because it's the most important stat. Number 2, when it comes to the actual combat, once you get your skills, once you get your gear that gives you stats like that mana regen that I just mentioned, that gives you attack speed, that gives you movement speed, all these types of things, the combat really transforms. And I found myself really enjoying that. Every skill that I got felt like a big upgrade. Every upgrade I made in my gear or to my skill tree felt really good. It felt meaningful. I felt like I went from like very limited, kind of clunky, auto attacking a lot type of class, boring class. In the journey to end game, I ended up being like this pretty fast-paced, mobile, great hand user that can deal a lot of damage. Overall, I would say the combat that it feels the most similar to once you have everything set and done was honestly Arcage. I think there's a lot of similarities with Arcage. Now, I know that every class is a little bit different. If you're playing Sword Shield, if you're playing Healer, your experience is going to be significantly different when it comes to the pacing of how good the class feels. If you're playing a sword board solo, the leveling experience, everything, the gearing experience might be pretty difficult, right? In comparison to a DPS. However, once you do get all of your skills, you are going to, I really feel like it lines up with Arcage. I used Greatsword Dagger offhand, and it was very, very similar to Battle Rage, Shadowplay, and Arcage. For those of you who've played Arcage, the combo is almost identical. The pacing of it is almost identical. I would say that you have a little bit more movement in fluidity. Fluidity, maybe not the word. You have a little bit more movement in freedom with Arcage, but not by that much more, in my opinion. Not like an F-ton more, but definitely more. I thought the combat in this was fine. I actually really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to playing more. If you want combat that's like action combat, fast pace, super fast, high reactionary time type of stuff, this isn't it. This is, again, going to be a little bit more in line with the more classic MMOs. By the way, I will say that this game is definitely not pay to win in the beginning, because it's pay to win because of the auction house. No items will be listed in the auction house in the beginning. How have we fared as a free-to-play guild going against the Asians and the Koreans? Well, the first node war popped up, and we are the proud owners of that node war, or of that, yeah, we are the proud owners of that territory. We took it, and we are also the #1 ranked guild on our server. There's a real-time ranking. As you can see, 1 HP, that's our guild. Our second guild is ranked 3rd. Our third guild is ranked 5th. And our final 4th guild, which we just put together, is ranked 10th. Actually, I might have reversed that. This was the new guild. The officers are managing the roster. But anyways, we are a free-to-play guild, and we're doing it on our server as of now. Just so you know. And we are going for Castle Siege, and we're going to see how we do with that. So I feel like that's important to also share, because we are a free-to-play guild, and almost a week into it, this is what we're doing. Is this going to be something that we'll continue to maintain over the course of, I don't know, a year or so? I don't know. I have no idea. We're just going to have to wait and see. I'm here to just tell you our experience thus far and what we've been able to accomplish. I think I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think the polish of this game, obviously graphically this game looks amazing, but I think the polish of this game is what really stands out to me the most. I think it's a breath of fresh air to be able to play more of a classic theme MMORPG. It's kind of got that Western theme, you know, that fantasy medieval like theme. I really like that. Gameplay wise being more, classic. The two things that this game does have that even the doomers will admit to is that this game graphically looks good, and that the polish is there. What do I mean by that? The sound, the music, the voice acting. Well, I guess some people, of course not everyone, right? Like some people will be like, Kanon, no, I think it's bad. Okay. Let me tell you, the dungeons look great. So far, the ones that we've done, they're great. They feel great. Mechanically, they're good. And by the way, me and all my Lost Ark friends feel that way. And Lost Ark content creators and Lost Ark people are going to be the most critical with dungeon design. And we all agree that the dungeons in this game are actually really fun. But the polish that I'm referring to is just like sound and the little things that don't make an MMO at all. They don't really matter that much, but they really enhance the experience quite a bit, right? And here's an example of it. Like in this town right here, if you've seen in the video, you've probably seen a lady walk around. She walks in front of the statue and starts playing a song. The BGM is amazing. There's vocals. Also, I want you to take a look at the transitions here between scenes. There are no loading screens in Throne and Liberty. Zero. I'm going to teleport to this waypoint. This is what it looks like. That to me actually felt like I teleported in this game. Now, I'll go to the character selection screen. The load times in this game are crazy. This is how the game transitions out. Again, nothing crazy, but polished. You feel that. That's pretty cool. And this is how you enter the game. very quick, very nice. Like, this is the type of polish that this game has throughout the entire game. And that is probably one of the most impressive things I felt about this game, to be perfectly honest. Now, my honest thoughts for me is I just very much enjoyed this game. A lot of people are saying this is a mobile game. It looks mobile, or it was mobile. If you play this game to level 50, there's no way I would bet the house that you will not feel like this is a mobile game. Not even close. I played this game when it first came out, KR beta test. This was 100% a mobile game. I couldn't play it for more than a couple of days because I felt like I was playing an import on PC. When I played it now, especially the further I got, because the quests and the objectives that you go on are very dynamic, like I said. One quest has you go on a jumping pit puzzle. One has you go and glide on the different things, glide through different things. And one has you explore certain things. Everything is manual. There's no autoplay, no auto anything. So classic WoW, a big part of the immersion is you're in the world and you're running everywhere. Sure, you can teleport in this game, but there's a lot of discovering you have to do. And outside the fact that you can teleport in this game, a lot of these quests, especially as someone that's playing it at its inception, we are discovering the game. The game has you discover things manually. Like it just gives you that experience of this is a PC game and encourages you to explore the world. That's really what it comes down to. And you don't have that in mobile games. TLDR, if you play this game to level 50 and still think it's a mobile game, then you know what? I'm sorry. Okay. Then you and I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. But I would bet a lot of money that anyone that says that this is a mobile game will change their opinion on it if they actually play the game and get to level 50. Sure, there are some mobile elements to it. Like, for example, this little menu here. This feels pretty mobile. Let's be real here. It really does, right? Some of the menu stuff does, but the actual gameplay content, there's no way, not even close to being mobile. It kind of blows my mind that this game was actually designed for mobile after now spending 70 hours playing the game. So I will say that in regards to that, because a lot of people come in, they're like, look at this mobile pay to win trash. You know, I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, pay to win, yes, but mobile, yeah, this is not even close to being a mobile game anymore. It's completely gone. And the other thing that people talk about is the combat. And like I said, any content creator or any person or any viewer or anyone that critiques this game's combat, I really hope they're critiquing it from the perspective of a fully made character at level 50. It doesn't even have to be min-max gear, but just someone that has all of his skills, because saying that this combat looks boring and it feels bad is the same thing as me saying that the combat looks and feels bad in classic WoW. Like if I only played the first 10 levels in classic WoW on a warrior and critiqued the combat saying this is what it is and it's bad, I think everyone would say I'm being extremely disingenuous, right? So that's pretty much it, guys. This video went on a little bit longer than I would have liked to, but I did want to add a little bit of context. I'm just glad it didn't go for like an hour. I will be making an in-depth video. Remember, this is just to level 50. At the end of the day, endgame means everything, and we haven't experienced it yet. We're kind of speculating. We kind of have an idea and kind of know what it's going to be like, but I'm going in with an open mindset. This game could still be garbage if the end game content in the gameplay loop is bad, but I want to experience it for myself and find out. So I'll let you guys know, and stay tuned, because I will be, after I put in hundreds, thousands of hours into this game, I will be making an honest review video, as I have with all the other MMOs covered in my channel. So that's going to pretty much do it for this video, guys. Actually, let me do this real quick, because we've got over 1,000 people in Twitch chat right now. Okay. I think like 1,100 people. I'm going to close this out by having my chat tell you what they thought, because most of the people in my chat are interested in this game. We have a lot of haters, a lot of lovers, whatever. We have a lot of people that have not played the game, and we've got some that were fortunate enough to play the game. So I'm going to let them close it out by answering this one simple question. Okay, guys? For those of you in chat, after watching me 70 hours go from level 1 to 50, being with me every step of the way, based off of what you've seen, type in caps, type good if this is something that you feel like is, oh wow, I actually want to play this. This looks really good. Type bad if you're thinking, nah, this looks shit. I would love for you guys to share your opinions. Type mid if you think it's just mid, but go ahead and type that so that the viewers at home can know what your guys' opinions are, what my Twitch chat's opinions are, and obviously you heard me rant on for like 40 minutes. So yeah, there it is. There are the opinions. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Feel free to share your thoughts, good or bad. I look forward to making that in-depth review video. If you want to check out the game for yourself, come join me on Twitch. I'm streaming a lot of Throne and Liberty, twitch.tv/KanonXO. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.